What's up, everybody? This your boy right here, Big Dog, sliding and gliding into your YouTube. You feel me? But hey, I just wanted to holler at y'all about some interesting things that came to my mind, and some things I just wanted to, what I'm saying, talk about. Um, I was very inspired by this conversation, and I just basically want to, what I'm saying, share with y'all if y'all don't mind. Men and their feelings. You know, uh, women, please try to understand what type of man you're dealing with. You know what I'm saying? That's first and foremost. And when you noticing that you're dealing with a man that's sensitive, he's wear his feelings on his sleeve, or he might be cold hearted, you gotta understand. Now, here's the thing that you gotta understand. And this goes for men and women. The person that cares the most is usually the one that gets hurt first, but not in all cases. Sometimes you might find that one that cares just as much as you do. But you also got to understand that everybody loves on a different level. Everybody is not going to love you the same way. So therefore, if you having someone that's loving you on a different level, it doesn't mean that that person doesn't love you. It doesn't mean that that person doesn't care. They just got a different way of expressing and showing their love. Now, as far as with men carrying their feelings on their sleeve, you gotta understand that when a man carries his feelings on his sleeve, it's like almost any and every little thing bothers him, it hurts him, and he comes off to be sensitive. So therefore, when you're dealing with a man like that, you know what I'm saying, it's always good, and this goes for anybody, whether the person doesn't show their feelings or whether the person does. But when you're dealing with a person like that, you want to make sure that you validate that they're hurt. I'm not saying that you have to validate them as far as what they're doing. Are they doing a good job or this, that, and the other? Or, baby, you know what I'm saying, you made me happy. But no, you have to let them know that, hey, look, I take responsibility and I take account for what I did. I'm sorry that that hurted you, but I didn't. Those are not my intentions to hurt you. You know what I'm saying? Let them know that, hey, look, I recognize you hurt, but that wasn't my intentions to hurt you. You know what I'm saying? That's what I mean by validate or understanding them. Sometimes it is good to sympathize and empathize with a person if you can. But always remember that when you're dealing with a person that wears their feelings on their sleeve, they have a tendency to get hurt. And sometimes, in some cases, that person may feel as you're attacking them and that you're not. So fellas, if you wear, or women and men, if you're wearing your feelings on your sleeve, protect them. Because it's not always in cases that that person is attacking you or that they're trying to hurt you. They have to express how they feel too. My thing is that also, if you're dealing with somebody that has unsecure or insecure emotions, run from them. Don't deal with a person that has insecure emotions. Because I'm going to tell you something. It don't matter what you do, what you say, they always going to feel that way. So leave them where they supposed to be. I made another video before this one. You can go check it out as well. But yeah, leave that person right where they're at. Another thing is too, you have to understand, even in relationships, friendships, or businessship or partnerships, the communication has a tendency to die down. That happens. You know what I'm saying? But you still have to communicate. You know what I'm saying? Try your best to communicate. Like I said, back to dealing with men and women and feelings. Don't entertain them. Don't entertain somebody's feelings. They just that. Their feelings. That person owns their feelings. They are allowed to feel how they feel. Now, don't get yourself And I would like to call it as a pissing match. Don't get yourself in a pissing match as far as telling someone and explaining to someone about your feelings. Don't do it, because when you sitting up there, you explaining how, you feel, they explaining how you feel. Guess what? Nobody is listening to nobody's feelings, and nobody is even paying attention to how you really feel. You see what I'm saying? So don't get yourself in a pissing match. Basically, I would say the best thing to do is try to understand. Let that person know, like, hey, look, I understand I hurted you, and I'm sorry for that. If you want to tell that person about your feelings, let them know, like, hey, look, I don't know if you meant it like this. Ask them again, hey, did you mean it like this? Did you meant to say this? If so, this is the reason why I feel like this way. And let them know. But don't make it seem like your feelings is better. I mean, your feelings is more important than theirs. Because then that's when you'll find yourself getting in a pissing match. Don't get yourself in a pissing match. Another thing is that women, when you're dealing with a man and he's have a hard time expressing his feelings, you have to understand, women, that we was built. A man, a man is built on basically not really expressing his feelings at all. We was built to, hey, look, deal with it and move on. You know what I'm saying? So for some men, it might be hard for them to express their feelings. Those men, they might express their feelings through their actions, or might be quiet, or whatever it may be. But it doesn't mean that they don't love you. It just means that they just having a hard time expressing their feelings. And the reason why that they have such a hard time expressing their feelings is because at one point in time in their life, they did open up to a woman that didn't care or love them on the same level. And what happened is when he opened up his heart, that woman ran through it and did whatever she wanted and hurt that man. And then he said, you know what? I'm not gonna cry. I ain't gonna open up my heart no more. Whatever, whatever. And that's how he just got closed shelter. When you're dealing with a man that opens up his heart like that, he's very vulnerable. He might throw tantrum fits. You know what I'm saying? That's just really to get your attention. You know what I'm saying? Women, some of y'all women do it. You know what I'm saying? Throw tantrum fits to get our attention. Whatever, or what may have you, being mischievous or just being a misfit. You know what I'm saying? But that's what happens when you're dealing with a man that's very sensitive about his feelings, and it seems like everything and anything you say, it hurts him. It hurts him bad, and it hurts him deep. So my thing is, you know what I'm saying, just be careful who you dealing with and where they're coming from, because it is detrimental on both sides. And usually the man that opens up his heart, he love the hell out of you, but he also is vulnerable for any attacks. And when you're dealing in any relationship, you have to be ready to get hurt. If not, don't get in a relationship. Don't even bother, because every relationship on earth, you're gonna get hurt and you're gonna go through some pain. When you're dealing with a man that's, you know, that has a hard time expressing his feelings or closed off from his feelings, it takes him a little while longer to actually fall in love, or to actually see who you really are. Be careful. Be very careful in dealing with a man like that, because there might be some other things that's going on. It might not be, but it could be. So you still want to take your time with both situations. Meanwhile, you know what I'm saying? Just always be aware, and try to, you know what I'm saying, your best to understand, you know what I'm saying, what you're dealing with. And just take your time. Take your time. Don't be rushing in and this, that, and the other with any situation. Um, you have some people out there that you might meet for the very first time. They might be like, oh man, this is so good to be true, and this, that, and the other. I say, you know what I'm saying, take your time, but give it a shot. A lot of people, to me, some people don't understand. you find a lot of people or some people that will turn down the ones that be so good to be true, but quick to give the ones that ain't about shit, that ain't doing shit, knowing that they ain't got no chance, knowing they ain't got the right to even have a chance, and you'll jump for them. But let somebody sit back and say, hey, look, this person is too good to be true. My question is, could it be your blessing? You never know. Are you just gonna basically already, what I'm saying, basically praying for that person's downfall, or are you praying for a doubt, or you praying for a person's wrong because they too good to be true? Like, oh shit, girl, he too good to be true. Something ain't right. I'm just ready for it. Or are you that person that's gonna be like, shit, man, this woman right here, man, shit, she's everything I'm looking for, man. I gotta go in hard. I gotta get my shit right. This it. You know what I'm saying? Ask yourself, are you that person? Sometimes what you're looking for ain't always in your backyard. Sometimes you're gonna have to travel a little bit. Sometimes you're gonna have to let down your guard just a little bit. Sometimes you're gonna have to try different things. Sometimes you're gonna have to get out of that belief system that has been passed down from generations to generations, that old traditional BS baloney, and go out there and either get your man or get your woman or whatever you are. Get, go get it. Because it's not going to fall out the trees, ladies and gentlemen. The person, your soulmate or whoever, is just not going to fall out the trees. It's just not gonna happen like that. If it did, then where the money at? You feel me? You're gonna have to go out there and get it. You're gonna have to change your mind, change the way of you thinking. And I'm talking about on a good level. I'm talking about being positive. I'm talking about, you know, thinking and praying and this, that, and the other. Just being good. You see what I'm saying? When you change the way you thinking, when you change that old belief system and start going out there and you want to do something, and you want this and you want that, I'm telling you, it's gonna come to you. It's gonna come to you. Sometimes you gotta move around a little bit. You know what I'm saying? I ain't saying step into the lion's den. Of course, use your common sense for crying out loud. But move around a little bit. It ain't gonna hurt you. It ain't gonna, I promise you it won't hurt you. Another thing is I want to talk about, and I'm just talking on, I'm saying, different subjects, you know what I'm saying, is that, you know, hurt people. And what I mean by that, if you're dealing with someone that has baggage, or you that person that has baggage, I'm telling you, you're gonna hurt the next person. Hurt people, hurt people. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? So just realize and recognize what you're doing and who you with, and try your best not to hurt that person, and try your best to basically validate that person's feelings by letting them know that, yes, I didn't know that I hurted you. I didn't know that was going to hurt you, but I'm sorry. That was not my intention. It's just like with this. Let's say if you get in a car accident, right, and it wasn't your fault, but you got in a car accident and both of you guys was hurt. Well, at the end of the day, you still hurted that person. You still have to acknowledge that, hey, look, my car, my decision, my choice, my moves, my actions still hurted that person, whether good or bad. You see what I'm saying? Um, you have to take, accountability, and you have to be responsible of your actions, whether good or bad. You know, you still hurted that person. You know, don't be that cruel and mean person. Be like, well, shit, it ain't my fault that you hurt. So, oh well. Come on now, because if you was on the other foot and if you cared about someone that tough and this, that, and the other, trust and believe. you will be hurt too. You know what I'm saying? You might be the one that's wearing your feelings on your sleeve the next relationship that you get in. And you done found that one or that man and you like, ooh wee. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying. Another thing is sometimes men, and this is for you men and this is for women. If you know you the one that's caring and you know you the one that's in love with that person might not love you back. Maybe that's the reason why they are not caring as much. It could be they're not on your love level. But still, if they're not on your love level, that don't mean cut them. That means give them time. You know, as long as they are showing it. And but it also could be that, hey, look, that person is not trying to play that position, and you know you doing all this stuff and this, that, and the other, and this person told you, and you existed, and they like, well, hey, look, you know, I told you. So, or it could be that the love died out. You know what I'm saying? Love can't die out. It can. It can die out. I hope that's not you guys, you know what I'm saying? But please keep loving each other. Stay positive with each other. Help each other out. Talk about it. I'm not saying everything is going to get talked about, but action speaks louder than words. You might not have the words to say. Fellas, you don't have to respond on everything that your woman is telling you. Sometimes just listen to what she's saying. Hug her. Give her a kiss. Women, look, y'all know how to please a man, but do you know how to help a man? And I'm not talking about being domestic. Help your man out. If you're dealing with a good man, help him. Help him out. Don't always beat him down. Don't go over there talking about him in front of your girlfriends or to your mama, your brother, your cousin. Help that man out. That's your man. We need y'all help just like y'all need our help. You feel me? Stop being so negative and be positive. Try to understand. Fellas, listen. Listen to your woman. It's your boy Big Dog. I'm out.